The Second Battle of the Java Sea was the last naval action of the Netherlands East Indies Campaign of 1941–42. It occurred on 1 March 1942, 2 days after the First Battle of the Java Sea. It saw the end of the last Allied warships operating in the waters around Java, allowing Japanese forces to complete their conquest of the Netherlands East Indies unhindered. Background: the American, British, Dutch, Australian Command Fleet were defeated at the First Battle of the Java Sea on 27 February 1942, and its ships had been dispersed or sunk by the Japanese. The light cruiser HMAS Perth and the heavy cruiser US Houston had retreated to Tanjong Priok, the port of the capital, Batavia, in the west of the island. They planned to withdraw via the Sunda Strait to Tijilajap on the south of the island and departed on the evening of 28 February, but encountering the Japanese Western Invasion Force later that night in Bantam Bay, they were both sunk in the Battle of Sunda Strait. The heavy cruiser HMS Exeter, severely damaged in the First Battle of the Java Sea, had withdrawn to Surabaya in the east, escorted by the Dutch destroyer HNLMS Witterwith. There she was joined by HMS Encounter, which arrived with the survivors from the destroyer HNLMS Cortenair. Also at Surabaya were the 4 U.S. destroyers of Destroyer Squadron 58, which had also withdrawn there from the battle, and US Pope, which had been undergoing repairs. On 28 February, after nightfall, US John D. Edwards, John D. Ford, Alden, and Paul Jones of Disron 58 departed for Australia via the Bali Strait. After a brief encounter with a Japanese destroyer, they arrived safely at Fremantle on 4 March. After emergency repairs, Exeter also left for further repairs in Ceylon, leaving at dusk on 28 February, and escorted by Encounter and Pope. Witterwith was unable to leave due to mechanical trouble, and was later bombed and sunk at Surabaya on 2 March. As Exeter had too much draft for the Bali Strait, it was decided to go via Sunda Strait, which was thought still open. The morning of 1 March found the 3 Allied ships west-northwest of Bawayan Island, heading westwards. The ships were making 23 knots, as much as Exeter could manage. The battle. At 4 o'clock on 1 March, ships were sighted to the west being in no condition for a battle. Exeter and her consorts reversed course, turning northwest to avoid contact. More ships were sighted at 7:50, bearing southwest. Again, the Allied ships had to alter course to avoid them. At 9:35, 2 heavy cruisers were sighted approaching from the south. These were Nachi and Haguro of the Eastern Invasion Force with 2 destroyers, under Admiral Takeo Takagi, whom they had met 2 days previously at the Battle of the Java Sea. Exeter and the destroyers turned northeast and increased speed, but soon sighted more ships approaching from the northwest. This was Admiral Ibo Takahashi, with the heavy cruisers Ashigara and Maoko and 2 destroyers, closing in on either side of the fleeing Allied ships. The cruisers opened fire at 10:20 as they came in range. Encounter and Pope responded by making smoke, and later attempted a torpedo attack, while Exeter returned fire. But at 11:20 Exeter sustained a major hit in her boiler room, resulting in a loss of power and slowing her to 4 knots. As the 4 Japanese cruisers closed in on Exeter, Encounter and Pope were ordered to make all speed for a nearby rain squall. In an attempt to shake off pursuit, racked by gunfire, Exeter was brought to a standstill, and the destroyer in Azuma closed in for a torpedo attack. Exeter sank at 11:40, 97 miles south of Borneo. The cruisers switched their attention to the fleeing destroyer's encounter was quickly hit by 8-inch shell fire and sunk, but Pope was able to reach the rain squall and was lost to sight. The respite was short-lived, however. Shortly after noon she was spotted by planes from the aircraft carrier Raijo, which was covering the Western invasion force. She was dive-bombed and sunk around 1350. There were just over 800 survivors altogether. These were picked up and imprisoned by the Japanese, 190 of them subsequently dying in captivity.